2050 seems like ages away and in a totally different world, but in reality it is just 30 years from now, and we can already guess the possible technology at the time. Today's video shows you the world in 2050. This is my fix of tech, bringing you the hottest tech innovation straight to your screen. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And of course, subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to keep yourself up to date. This video covers future tech that we didn't even imagine. Stay until the end to hear some of the world's most daring proposals of relocating the human race to other planets. Number 10. Robot jobs and universal income. As early as now, we're already seeing the serious impact of fields of robotics and artificial intelligence on the future. Not just in technological advancement, but also in politics, economics, and pretty much all of society. Kaspersky social media guy Vladislav Buryakov points this out as he envisions a world where artificial intelligence completely reshapes the foundations of human life. He predicts that by 2050, the vast majority of jobs will have been replaced by machines. That means 24-hour robot replacements for cleaners, drivers, cashiers, teachers, doctors, almost anything you can think of. It's likely that the only remaining jobs would be the ones that require either human judgment or creativity, like politicians or musicians, but even those aren't a certainty. But what happens when there are too many people and not enough jobs? Buryakov believes that the inevitable solution will be a form of universal income, a government-provided basic wage for everyone to maintain at least a decent standard of living. This will not do much though. Buryakov argues that protests will become an everyday occurrence with so many people and so few jobs for everyday humans. Number 9. Prosthetics. On a lighter sci-fi note, prosthetics are shaping up for the future with computer technology fully compatible with the human brain and body. The sky's the limit. We could enter an age where cyborgs are not just welcome, they're commonplace. James Young, a 25-year-old biologist, has a prosthetic arm with a personal drone and built-in flashlight. There's even a French artist using a prosthetic that doubles as a tattoo gun. The bridge to cybernetic implants lies in the brain, being able to use the computer tech to sync with the brain and give accurate commands. The technology involves implanting electrodes that pick up on the brain's signals and allows people to move, feel, and use the new limb in intuitive, natural ways. We haven't fully bridged that gap yet, but when we do, it will surely make for an interesting future. These prosthetics could be used in many ways beyond helping people who lost limbs. They could be placed onto other objects, or potentially even be fitted into futuristic exoskeletons. Number 8. Robo-sexuality and robotic relations. Right now, most, if not all, sexual and romantic relationships are human-centric, with a few exceptions and some less conventional corners of the internet, but futurologist Ian Pearson believes that by 2050, the very nature of relationships will have fundamentally shifted. According to Pearson, development in virtual reality and robotics combined will motivate acceptance of technology's role in life, and elevate items once used for sexual pleasure to affect facsimiles of human intimacy. In Pearson's view, these new, almost human relations will relieve the stress, anxiety, and fatigue that can damage human relationships, providing an outlet and reducing the temptation to cheat. I can imagine that this will also make single life much less lonely. He even suggests that these relationships could become so developed that movements will start to defend the sexual right of robots. BioLink Tech CEO Evgeny Sherezhnev even suggests that humans will come to prefer robots as their partners, since robots will exist for the sole purpose of satisfying their needs. Of course, this would mean future decline in birth rates all over. Number 7. Holograms. We use technology in every aspect of our lives. It enables amazing feats, but holograms allow us to go further and beyond the screen, where the digital world is blended with reality. Future technology will be able to project 3D holograms into the air above or even around a smartphone display. Imagine workplace collaboration applications that happen in virtual space, new ways to visualize your work, more immersive ways to play, new ways to teach and learn, new ways to explore the places we've never been to. Number 6. Brain augmentation and AI ghosts. It's both amazing and frightening to appreciate the potential impact of the dovetailing of human and artificial intelligence in advancing and disrupting our way of life, perhaps in a devastating way. British Astronomer Royal Martin Rees declared that we won't stop at human brains interfacing with AI, but will continue to augmentation. Rees describes our existing mental expansion in the form of smartphones, where information with personal context for the internet are stored out of mind, but in the palm of our hands. By pushing our understanding of the human brain, robot and AI scientists believe that by 2050, we will see literal plug-in expansions for our mental capacities, from mathematical skills to language translations. Aside from downloading, uploading our brains may also be a possibility, according to him. Writer and futurist Alexei Andreev believes that this could lead to algorithmic replicas of deceased brains which could use the information stored in their gray matter to impersonate us for the outside world. Think AI ghosts. We're not far off with hashtag inventor Chris Messina already managing to create a chatbot that impersonates people by scrapping their social media feed. Spooky. It's not just how deep we can go with tech, but also how far. See the extent of the human race with my number one pick at the end, where humans may be living in the near future. I'm sure you can guess it isn't on planet Earth. Number 5. Solar panels. Solar panels will beat fossil fuels in energy output, becoming the largest source of energy on the planet. Researchers from Thomson Reuters are sure this will happen because of new and modernized materials. With those, solar panels will be able to absorb much more sunlight, and even when it's overcast. Solar industry is also investing heavily in finding new ways of improving the efficiency of solar energy systems, with 3 of the biggest developments being in solar energy storage, perovskites, and multi-junction cells. Energy storage allows solar energy plants to store excess energy so that it could be sold and used later for a variety of reasons, including load leveling, emergency preparedness, and grid stabilization. In the past 7 years alone, solar cells created with perovskites have gone from an efficiency rating of just 3.8% to 20.1%. This rate of progress is promising to researchers and developers alike, as lowering the cost of solar panels is a key step to achieving exponential growth in the industry. And finally, multi-junction cells are essentially regular photovoltaic panels but with added layers to increase efficiency. Number 4. Mind-reading machines. Commonly seen in sci-fi movies and books, mind reading is a momentous ability that is both exciting and frightening. Albeit a terrifying proposition, it's worth paying attention when Anil K. Seth, co-director of Sackler Center for Consciousness Science at the University of Sussex, says that we could see the prospect becoming reality in just 3 decades. He believes that advancing AI and brain imagining technology will mean that machines will eventually learn to decode activity our brains to understand thoughts at least to a functional level. According to Seth, that kind of interfacing will enable us to intuitively interact with our machine-governed environment, as well as find new and more precise ways to treat psychiatric disorders and brain damage. The research is already beginning to see some progress. In early 2018, a team at Kyoto University created an algorithm that could recreate observed images based on brain activity. With this incredible potential, Seth warns that this tech could also be used to invade privacy and manipulate thoughts. This means that keeping our thoughts to ourselves will be an essential skill of the future. Sounds like a job for Harry Potter, huh? Number 3. Super clothes. Imagine the powers of your favorite superheroes contained in supersuits for you and your friends. With the growth of nanotechnology, your clothes could potentially be imbued with various materials or technologies that improve your strength, durability, and more. You could have a shirt that's light as a feather but could absorb impact without any injury to you. Bulletproof, anyone? Firefighter uniforms can be made to be completely heat-resistant and burn-proof, making them impervious, even downright invincible in their job. The technologies that we can put into clothes is out there, and some people are working on it right now, both in terms of multiple functions and cosmetic appeal. By 2050, we could have the ability to create whatever kind of clothes we want, and even select the abilities they have. If done right, this could be the newest wave of fashion and style of the future. Number 2. No traffic. Yes, it is a possibility in the year 2050, maybe even sooner. With the growth demand for driverless cars and even flying cars, the human factor will decrease dramatically, and with it the main reason behind traffic congestion. Big cities will finally enjoy relatively free roads, and we can all get tasks done on time and off the road. Can't wait. In addition, gasoline fuel will most likely become a fading memory of the past, with electric and hydrogen-powered vehicles pushing them farther and farther out of the market. Connecting to our previous entry, solar-powered cars will also probably emerge, gradually replacing all the rest. Just imagine, a car that only requires sunlight and sometime a charge before you can go wherever you please. No more running out of fuel in the middle of nowhere. Number 1. Mars Civilization. 2050 will not just show us what we can do, but also where we can go. Hardly believable. Humans living on Mars feels like a bit of a sci-fi pipe dream. It has always been discussed ever since the World's Fair of the 1950s. Putting it into context, we now have magnetic levitation trains and deep learning AI, which both approach the territory of pipe dream, becoming stuff of reality. So Mars may not be that far off. Science journalist Stephen Petronek is a firm believer that by 2050 this dream will have been made a reality, thanks to the world's best-known and eccentric tech guru Elon Musk. Musk's SpaceX program is already pioneering commercial space travel as part of his plan to save humanity from extinction. Petronek also believes in the tech pioneer's short-term dream of getting people to Mars by 2030. He was reportedly told by the man himself that he would be extremely disappointed if it didn't happen, and by 2050, that could expand to between 30 to 50,000 people making one-way trips to the Red Planet, and a total population of around 1 million by 2075. The dream is literally sky high, but Elon hasn't disappointed us yet. Do you think all these predictions will come true? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below and I'll make sure to talk to you the first hour you post your comment. You don't have to wait for 2050 for that future home of yours. Check out our other video, Most Useful Home Inventions to Make Our House Awesome, to see the latest smart home and Internet of Things gadgets available now. Stay connected, stay up to date.